Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How are you, student? Hope you all will be fine and doing well. So, welcome you, student, for today's lecture of chemistry, chapter number 6, Chemical Kinetics, part 7. In the previous lecture, we have completed graphical representation of first order reaction, zero order reaction. Today, we are moving forward towards the further portion of the chapter. So, let's start with the pseudo first order reaction. Here, what do you mean by the word pseudo? Pseudo means false, fake. The thing which is fake, which is lie. So, the meaning of the pseudo is fake or false. So the word itself speak that pseudo false first order reaction. It is related to first order reaction. We have studied first order reaction in detail. Do you remind student what do you mean by first order reaction? The first order reaction is the order of the reactant which carries number 1. As we know, the order of any of the chemical reaction, is experimentally determined. So let's see what is pseudo first order reaction. Reaction which are expected to be of higher order. Here there are reactions which are expected to be of higher order, but they follow the first order kinetics. There are various chemical reactions which are expected to be of higher order than the first order. Fine. So, the reaction which are expected to be of higher order follow the first order kinetics. Yeah, let's see an example. Consider hydrolysis of methyl acetate, CH3COO, CH3. This is your methyl acetate. Fine. This methyl acetate, when it is being treated with water, we are getting CH3COH, that is your acetic acid, plus CH3OH. Fine. Here, let's see in the reactant part, we are having two reactant. What is the name of the two reactant? Methyl acetate, that is your CH3COOCH3, and H2O, water. While in the product again we are getting two product, CH3COH, that is your acetic acid, plus CH3OH, that is your methanol. Let's keep the product aside. We should concentrate on the reactant. So according to the rate law, rate is directly proportional to the concentration. Fine. So rate is directly proportional to the concentration. Here we are having two different reactant, right? So here the rate law will be, rate is directly proportional to the concentration of the reactant. So rate, as we remove the proportionality sign, here come is equal to sign and k constant value will become. Here we are taking k dash. So rate will be equal to k dash concentration of methyl acetate and concentration of water. It should be like that way. The rate of this reaction should be like this way. So the reaction was expected to follow the second order kinetic. Why it follows the, as we have studied earlier, here we are having two different reactant. Fine. So the reaction was expected to follow the second order kinetics. It should follow the second order kinetics, but it follow the first order. So For this reason, it is said that this reaction is pseudo first order reaction. I am repeating it again. We are taking methyl acetate. When it is reacted with water, we are getting the product acetic acid plus methanol. Find the rate law for this order should be rate is equal to K dash concentration of the methyl acetate and concentration of the water. Yet according to the rate law, the reaction was expected to follow the second order kinetics, but it follows the first order kinetics. Why? The question arises to you, student, why? So let's see the reason for this. What is the reason? The reason is that solvent water, we have taken the solvent as a water, is present in such large excess that the change in its concentration is negligible. What? We have taken solvent as a water, fine. We have taken solvent as a, it is present in large excess, fine. It is present in large, that the change in its concentration. Well, we are changing the concentration of the solvent. Suppose we are taking a glass. In that glass, we have having water, fine, and the amount of water is very more, fine. The amount of water is very more, fine. This is your solvent water. Further addition of little bit of water, it will not change the concentration of the water, fine. So the reason is that solvent water is present in such large excess, it is present in such large excess. So because of this reason, there is no change in its concentration compared to its initial one. Initial one means starting one, or its concentration remain constant. In short, the concentration of the solvent water will be remain constant. Why? Because it is present in large excess, it is present in large amount. So the concentration of H2O, we are considering it as constant value, that will be equal to K double dash, fine. So as we know, the rate law for this equation is equal to, rate is equal to K dash concentration of methyl acetate, concentration of water. In place of concentration of water, we are writing K double dash. Here K dash into K double dash will be equal to K. Here I am taking the value of K dash and K double dash is equal to K. You can take any of the value. For constant, usually we take the value K. So rate is equal to K into concentration of methyl acetate. So here at the end, the rate of the reaction depends only one of the concentration of the reactant, and that concentration is your methyl acetate. It does not depends upon the concentration of water. Why? Because concentration of water remains constant due to it is present in large amount, it is present in large excess, that the change in concentration is negligible compared to initial one. So at the end, we are getting rate is equal to K, concentration of methyl acetate. So due to this, the reaction is of first order kinetics. Here some of the portion has been deleted for the current year 2020-21, that is your after pseudo first order reaction, your point number 6.6, that is your collision theory of biomolecular reaction, has been cancelled out. Remember the student, this topic is cancelled. 6.6, in 6.6 whatever the topic is there, you're supposed to cancel it. I'm repeating 6.6, collision theory of biomolecular reaction. After that, 6.7, topic is temperature dependent of reaction rate. It is also being cancelled, fine. So you are not supposed to study that topic. Let's move forward towards 6.8 topic, that is the effect of a catalyst on the rate of reaction. I'm repeating it again, student. 6.6 and 6.7 has been cancelled for the current year 2020-2021. In this subtopic is also being cancelled. You are supposed to move directly towards the last topic, that is your effect of a catalyst on the rate of reaction. You are very much familiar with the word catalyst. So what is catalyst, student? The catalyst is a substance. It is a substance which is added to the reactant that increases the rate of reaction without itself being consumed in the reaction. Any of the reaction which is being going on, in addition to the reactant, we are adding some other substance, and that some other substance is your catalyst. What is the property of the catalyst? It increases the rate of the reaction. Means if a reaction requires 5 hours to complete, with the addition of catalyst it requires only nearly about 2 hours, 3 hours, and so on. So here the catalyst increases the rate of the reaction without itself being consumed in the reaction. It is not being consumed in the reaction. It is not being utilized. At the end of the reaction, catalyst will be present in its original position. Fine. So what is catalyst? A catalyst is a substance added to the reactants that increases the rate of the reaction without itself being consumed in the reaction. Let's see example of catalytic reaction. Here let's see first example, KClO3. KClO3, when it is being reacted with oxygen gas, we are getting KCl, that is your potassium chloride. Here in this reaction, we are using manganese oxide as a catalyst. The reaction has been took place between KClO3 and oxygen. We are getting KCl, that is your potassium chloride, in the presence of catalyst manganese oxide. From this reaction, it has been observed that the decomposition rate increases with the addition of catalyst. Whose decomposition rate? The decomposition rate of the reactant has increases and we are getting the product earlier. Fine. When the reactant will decompose, then only we are getting the product. Yes or no, student? Here, so the decomposition rate increases with the addition of catalyst. Thus, a catalyst provide alternative pathway associated with lower activation energy. What do you mean by activation energy? The energy required for the conversion of the reactant to the product. So here, as with the addition of catalyst, we require little bit amount of energy, so it to convert the reactant into the product as compared to the reaction without catalyst. So here, student, with the addition of catalyst, the decomposition rate increases with the addition of catalyst, and thus a catalyst provide alternative pathway associated with lower activation energy. Let's see another example, hydrogen peroxide. Here the reactant is hydrogen peroxide. Fine. So the decomposition, here the hydrogen peroxide will be decomposed. The decomposition of hydrogen peroxide in aqueous solution catalyzed by iodine ions. Here hydrogen peroxide, when it is being reacted, the reaction carried out, it get converted into water and oxygen. So at room temperature, the rate of reaction is slower in the absence of catalyst, with its activation energy being 76 kilojoule per mole. While in the presence of iodide ion, that is your catalyst, the reaction is faster, since the activation energy decreases to 57 kilojoule per mole. Let's see a student. Here without catalyst, this is, suppose this is the graph without catalyst, this is the graph with catalyst. Here the reaction proceed and it get converted into the product. This is the activation energy. Fine. While with catalyst the graph will decline. Here suppose it is 76, the graph is declined to 57. So the activation energy has been decreases in the presence of catalyst. So let's move forward towards the graph of potential energy barrier for catalyzed and uncatalyzed reaction. Along the x-axis we are taking reaction coordinate and along the y-axis we are taking energy. Here you see two different value of energy, EA and EC. EA is the activation energy for the uncatalyzed reaction, while EC is the activation energy for the catalyzed reaction. In the graph you see two hump like structure. Fine. Your first hump, this one, is the graph for the uncatalyzed reaction. This is the activation energy for the uncatalyzed reaction. Fine. While this one is the catalyzed reaction, this is the activation energy for the catalyzed reaction. So as we have studied in the second example, that with the addition of catalyst the activation energy decreases. So here with the addition of catalyst the activation energy is decreasing and we are getting the product earlier as compared to the reaction which is uncatalyzed. So this graph shows us that the catalyzed reaction having lower activation energy as compared to the reaction which is uncatalyzed. Let's move forward towards the explanation of the figure 6.10 which we have studied. Now figure 6.10 compares the potential energy barrier for the catalyzed and uncatalyzed reaction. And we see that the barrier for uncatalyzed reaction is larger. Obviously the activation energy for that is larger than that for the same reaction in the presence of catalyzed. So here catalyzed reaction is having lower activation energy as compared to the uncatalyzed reaction. Let's see another graph which show comparison of fraction of molecule for catalyzed and uncatalyzed reaction. Along the x-axis we are taking energy, while along the y-axis we are taking dN upon n, that is the fraction of molecule. We are getting a graph, a hump-like graph. Here EA is the activation energy for the uncatalyzed reaction or catalyzed reaction. This is for uncatalyzed reaction. This EA shows the reaction which is uncatalyzed. So in the graph it has been written before use of catalyst. It means it is uncatalyzed reaction, while EC is the graph for catalyzed reaction. In the present means the reaction proceed in the presence of catalyst. So in the presence of catalyst, molecule had the fraction value of the molecule has been increases. The molecule fraction has been increasing, while for uncatalyzed reaction the fraction of molecule is lower as compared to the catalyzed reaction. So what does this figure explain us? Figure 6.11 shows a plot of fraction of molecule as a function of energy. A catalyzed lowers the threshold energy. Obviously it lowers the energy level of the reaction. Consequently, more molecule acquire the minimum amount of energy and tends to cross the energy barrier. The more molecule, the catalyzed reaction, here the molecule in the catalyzed reaction, more molecule acquire the minimum amount of energy and they tends to cross the energy barrier. They will cross the energy barrier. a fraction of activated molecule is greater. So here the molecule, the reactant molecule, fraction of activated molecule is greater for the catalyzed reaction as compared to the uncatalyzed reaction. Fine. Here student, due to the presence of catalyst, a fraction of activated molecule is greater for the catalyzed reaction. So the rate of catalyzed reaction thus is larger than the reaction with no catalyst. Obviously, its rate will be more as compared to the reaction which is uncatalyzed. So here student, we have completed the chapters. Numerical is remaining. Hope you all have understood very well. And remember, the thing which has been deleted, you are not supposed to study for the current year. Do your best. If you are having any problem, any query, let me know. Inshallah, we will sort it out. Study well. Do your best. Thank you, student.